Hi, I'm back. Got another video, and tonight I'm going to talk about the people who pray to God, or rather the God of bling, and that's thicker than water. Which just when you think that the level of ratchet could not get any lower than the Bad Girls Club or Black Ink, this comes. Well, they're not particularly ratchet, but they're janky. I'm gonna use that term. They're janky, and janky is not quite ratchet, but it's not quite right either. It's the opposite of right. It's wrong. It's so wrong it can't get no wronger. That's all I can say. So, anyways, I learned tonight that there's no ghetto in heaven, and we get introduced to Dennis and his third wife Jewel, and they put on airs by going out and acting like they're gonna buy a private jet when they're not. And Jewel makes this stupid call to her sister, thanking the Lord Jesus for her being able to shop for a jet, because that's what the Lord is thinking about, not poverty or disease or famine or war. The Lord is thinking about your ability to buy a private jet. Tell me another one. So she calls her sister Janice. They say Janice, but it's spelled Junice. So I would think it would be Junice, but they're saying Janice. Anyways, she calls us Janice, and Janice says in her talking head, I don't know her exact words, but I'll just paraphrase by saying, Janice is not on the same bullshit chain as her sister. So that's that. And we get to see their home, and he talks about how it's 3 floors and 13 square feet of pure tackiness, pure nouveau riche tackiness, in my opinion. And we're introduced to the family, and there's the son Benji, who every time I hear the name Benji, who you think about the dog, right? I don't know why you would even name your child Benji, because it just reminds people of the dog. It's like naming your kid Scooby Doo. People can think of the dog. Anyways, we meet Benji and his wife. I didn't catch her name. And then we meet the other daughter, Brooklyn, who has this really bad red weave on. And this is the year for bad red weaves between Candy and then this girl. I don't know. Anyways, Brooklyn had a baby at 14, and that's all we know about her so far. Then they show the house manager, who looks a lot like Nell Carter from Give Me a Break. I don't know why she does, but she does to me. So, then we see the mother getting her makeup done for their little backyard party they're going to do, which surprised the hell out of me. That she actually has someone to do her makeup, because her makeup looks like hell, especially the eye makeup. The fact that if she's paying somebody to do that, she needs a refund. Plus, uh, what do you call it? A refund and a refund with interest. Yes, for that level of bad makeup, she should request a refund with interest. So before the party, Benji and Dennis have to unclog the toilet, which I actually liked the black toilet, and if I um, get the chance to upgrade my bathrooms, I want at least one of them to have a black toilet in it, because I always like the black toilet. There's something that looks nice about them. It's weird to me. So or even gray, something that's not white. Something. But anyways, Janice does another talking head. I can't remember what she said, but she does seem like she's the voice of reason, like the only person who's the voice of reason in the show. Then they go in the backyard and they say that they are going to play croquet, the bougie game. I need a sip of coffee to get through this. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about bougie. I have bougie on both sides of my family. That's not bougie. You want to know bougie? What you know about Jack and Jill? You don't know Jack and Jill? If you've never heard of Jack and Jill, it's an organization that was started by some black mothers in 1938. And what they wanted to do was have their children be able to socialize with each other, because these particular women were middle class or above middle class, and they wanted their children to be able to socialize with other middle class and above middle class children. The organization sold itself as being a place for kids to socialize, or a place for middle class and upper middle class people to socialize. But according to my grandmother, it was a quote snob society for getting someone for your child to marry, because you don't want them coming home with some ghetto person. So you make them join Jack and Jill so they can meet the doctor's son and the lawyer's son and whatever son. So that's on the under the surface, that's what people really were doing. Um, she also told me they used to do elocution classes, which is it's a course that teaches you how to speak properly and to enunciate. So basically what everyone says Beyonce needs, elocution classes. So anyhow, that. Moving on to more bougie stuff. What you know about Summers on Martha Vineyard? Yes, Martha's Vineyard. That's bougie stuff right there. Horseback riding, which I was forced to do in high school. I don't even like horses. I believe that they don't want you to ride them. I honestly, truly believe that horses don't like you and they don't want you to ride them. But I did choose, as shallow as this is, I had a choice between choosing Western or English horseback riding, and I chose Western just because I wanted cowboy boots, which is the most shallow reason ever to choose a type of horseback riding. But now I'm still shallow, because if I had to do horseback riding again, I would choose English just because I like the riding pants. That's a horrible thing to do. Again, what do you know about the racket club? I haven't seen him at the rec club. Rec club is where you go to play tennis, or the golf club, or even going to the driving range. You don't know anything about bougie. My youngest sister got her first set of titanium golf clubs at 5 years old. You don't know anything about bougie. And when I was little, preschool age, I did learn in my grandmother's backyard how to play croquet. I don't know what the hell this croquet is, but I do know what croquet is. So no, you can miss me with this "you're bougie." You don't know anything about bougie. That's not to say that everyone in Connecticut is bougie, because there is the other side of Connecticut. I'll let you know right now, both Maury Povich and Jerry Springer are both filmed in Connecticut. If you ever seen that video of the guy singing "Why Must I Cry," that's Connecticut. Or World Star Hip Hop video, the girl that threw her baby across the bus to fight the other girl, that was in Hartford, Connecticut. So yeah, it's not everyone there is not bougie. There's bougie places everywhere. Maryland, there's a lot of bougie people there. Some parts of Georgia, some parts of Louisiana. But I'm just saying, they misrepresented bougie. And when I was younger, I used to take offense to people calling me bougie. I used to think, oh, that's mean. Why they call me bougie? Now I'm not. I don't take offense to it anymore. I own up to it. It is what it is. Moving on. What is her name? Jewel. She has her morning affirmations, which, Jesus. See, they got me taking the Lord's name in vain watching this crap. Her morning affirmation, I had to write it down because there's no way I would remember all this. I am a money magnet. Mother, wife, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle. My stocks, bonds, gold, silver, oils, crystal, and any precious metals, really, and semi-precious stones increase in net value. Fuck bitches, get money. Okay, I might have added some things to that, but she might as well have said that. So, anyways, Brooklyn has a marathon on the same day as Cyrene's prom, and she feels that Cyrene gets preferential treatment because she's the youngest. Meanwhile, Cyrene feels like she is basically her parents' chance to make up for how they raised the older children. Like they can, they can have a chance to redeem themselves, which I believe is true. Parents who parent later in life, they do things a little bit differently than when they were younger. And I understand this because, I know how she feels, because I am an adult and I have a younger sister who is a teenager that's still at home. And of course, she gets whatever she wants. But what a lot of people don't understand about the youngest is not so much that they're favored, or that your parents love them more, is that they're so worn down by the four previous children that by the time the youngest comes around, they're just like, yeah, whatever, yeah, take it, I don't care. It's not that they're trying to spoil the child, it's just that they are tired and they don't have the energy to try to do all this anymore, so they just say whatever. So, Brooklyn's brother Benji tries to train her for the marathon, and I don't care, because how are you going to train for a marathon 2 or 3 days before? No sense at all. Dennis, the father Dennis, goes to play basketball against Cyrene's prom date. He refers to as Mr. 6'9". I don't think we ever get the kid's name. We just hear Mr. 6'9". So he tells the prom date that his daughter is a virgin, that he needs to bring her back in the same condition that she left, which is too much damn information, and wasn't that little boy's business for her father even to tell that, and that's a problem. I mean, it's good for her to wait. It's excellent for her to wait, but her business doesn't need to be told on, television repeatedly like that. So, but the boy did seem nice enough. And speaking of too much information, their sermon. I don't know what he was talking about. All I heard was, I have an appointment for your midsection, and then I think my brain shut off or exploded. Whatever. Something happened, and yeah. Then I think he also mentioned Cyrene's personal business at church again. Which, like, do you need to tell everybody you come in contact with that your daughter's a virgin? That's not their business. Dang. And on top of what you're doing is, number one, well, you're setting her up for, like, it's like you're making her a target, because every little guy that sees this show is going to try to tap that just for bragging rights, because it was said over and over and over and over again. So now you've created a situation where all these little boys, they want to be the first because you just put her in this, you might as well have drawn a target on her back. So I don't approve of that. And Cyrene's a very pretty girl. She kind of reminds me of Solange, just a little bit. So Brooklyn and Brittany, they go on to this super awkward date, and I mean awkward before they even get to the part about the private strip lounge. I will get back to that. So they start asking these date questions, like, what are your best qualities? And I don't like those questions at all. I feel like that's not really a date. If you sit there and you ask canned questions like an interview, that's not really a date. A date is, you should just have regular conversation. Just talk the way you would normally talk and see what things you have in common, how you feel about different things, like like politics or stuff like that. Maybe not politics on the first date, but your values, that type of thing. And what you're interested in doing, what are your hobbies? Try to find some common ground, not interview questions, but that's, a topic for another time. Then, of course, the guys ask them if they have any skeletons in the closet, to which they reply that they used to have a private strip lounge. And you could see the gears turning in those very nice gentlemen's heads, which they look like they came from Central Casting. There's no way that those two girls would have got dates with those two guys in real life on their own. No, they're not. They're completely mismatched in every way I can imagine. And you could just see the gears turning in these guys' heads, like, I can't believe that this level of ratchetness is sitting across the table from me. But they still were very polite. And they might bone those girls, but they would not date those girls. And there is a difference. Because guys have that difference. They have that, the girl that I would go home and sleep with and the girl that I would actually make my girlfriend or wife. They're different levels. So, yeah. And we cut to the day of the marathon / prom, and they brought this girl a hot dog in bed, a hot dog on bread, which is killing me, because if you're so bougie, you would know that bougie people actually buy hot dog buns. And you tried to make it up by putting the ketchup in that little metal thing that you probably stole from Applebee's. I'm mad at that. But you brought up a piece of bread instead of a hot dog bun. And on top of it, you could have toasted the hot dog bun. Horrible. But it's bad enough you're giving a girl a hot dog on bread for breakfast. Not that you should bring her breakfast in bed to begin with, but the whole scene was awkward. But, uh, then she turns around and says, I'm going to need another hot dog. I was done. I was done. And then on top of the daughter that is going to run in the race, she needed a hot dog and the bread more. She needed the carbs before the race. You know, it doesn't take any energy to sit in a chair and get your makeup and your hair done. It takes some energy to run a marathon. And they should have, since they all live under the same roof, they should have woken up the daughter that's going on the marathon with breakfast. And then maybe did something nice for lunch for the girl going to prom, because prom doesn't start till nighttime. You have all day to get ready for prom. So, I don't know, I have problems with that. Then I was looking at Brooklyn when she went to the marathon, and I was thinking, who goes to a marathon with sparkly earrings on? And then I thought, that's right, I would. I'm definitely that person that would. As a matter of fact, going off another tangent, I used to play college volleyball, and I acquired the nickname, well, my second nickname, because my first nickname was Heart Attack, because we were playing one time and I waited to the last minute to hit the ball, and the coach yelled across the gym, "Are you trying to give me a heart attack?" And so they called me Heart Attack for a whole month. And then after that, I got the nickname Barbie Doll, because I would come to the games and I would put my lip gloss on before the game. And the coach was like, "Why are you putting lip gloss on like a Barbie doll? We're about to play volleyball." And that's no reason not to look cute, in my opinion. So, anyways, um, Dad apparently is very obsessed with Cyrene's virginity, because he brings it up again when he and his wife are singing that song to her about something or other. But while she's getting her makeup done. Then Brooklyn finishes her marathon, and only Benji and his wife are there to cheer her on and support her. And it bothers her, and it would bother me too, because they had time to do that. They could have went to her marathon in the morning and then went and saw Cyrene off for her prom in the evening. There's no excuse for that. I mean, like I said, I've felt similar things in my life too, because, excuse me, when I graduated with my master's degree, there was the same day that my baby sister had a pageant. She was like doing Junior Miss Connecticut or something like that, and only my father was able to make it to my graduation, and everybody else went to her pageant. And it kind of it kind of bothered me for a little bit. Not so much that everyone went to her pageant, but that she herself wasn't at my graduation, because that's my sister. You kind of want her to be there. But hey, it is what it is. She saw the photos, and I saw her pageant picture, so it is what it is. Next thing, oh, there was a Fashion Queens commercial, and I can't with them. And here's the thing, I refuse to watch Fashion Queens until Derek J stops shopping in the juniors department, because it's painful watching his buttons scream at me while he's trying to talk about something. I just think, Derek J, you're a big girl and you just need to accept it. Just go up a couple sizes and everything will look much, much nicer. You could be an inspiration or you could be desperation. That's the way I see it. And then Miss Lawrence, oh my God. He looks like a cat. You ever notice the store in the mall, Cachet? He looks like Cachet threw up on him. And I know he always tries to name, the designer boots he has on, but the thing about fashion is you can buy the most expensive things. You can go and get Louis Vuitton this and Chanel that, and you can get, I don't know, some Burberry or what else does he always talk about, or Valentino. But if you put it together wrong, you still look tacky. You got to be able to put it together right. If you're good at it, if you're good at what you do, you could literally go to a Goodwill and pull some stuff off of there. Go to the Gap, get something from there, and then go and buy, some Chloe or Yves Saint Laurent and put it all together, and you'll have a nice cohesive look if you know what you're doing. But that's the other thing. before I'm gonna go back to that, but I was gonna also mention what's her name, Bev, whatever her name is. For her to be speaking about fashion, I feel like she should put her ass and like take her foot and stick it in the ass of whoever the wardrobe department is, because they should be dressing her better than what they have her. And I feel like they're trying to use her being plus size as an excuse, and it's not an excuse. It's harder, or I would say it's more challenging to dress a plus size woman, but it's not impossible. So Bev, put your foot up somebody's ass and tell them to get you some decent clothes to wear, because you you have a great figure, but they're putting the wrong crap on you. Now back to what I was saying about putting things together the right way. Um, I feel like, and I don't want anyone to get me wrong. I have no problem with Derek J or and Miss Lawrence dressing in a feminine way. I mean, I grew up when I was a little girl. I saw Boy George, and I thought he was beautiful, and it never bothered me that he was a boy and he had his makeup on and whatever. So that's not an issue. My issue is that sometimes we tend to stereotype in a bad way, where people who, when you think about it, these two guys, aren't they both hairdressers? Well, I know Derek J's a hairdresser. I don't know what Lawrence does besides standing behind people and acting shocked on Real Housewives. But I know Derek J is a hairdresser, and I feel like the only reason why they were chosen to do Fashion Queens is just because they're gay, and that's extremely flawed. Just because a person's gay doesn't mean they automatically know about fashion. That's stereotypical, and it's flawed, and some people, I don't know, they run with it. Because I remember when I was in design school, I used to take evening classes because I worked during the day. So I took my classes between 6 and 10 p.m. And there was a couple day students that I would see, and sometimes they would stay late and be in the studio. And they were a couple gay guys, and they were extremely snide and catty, and they always had something to say. And I believe, in my opinion, the reason why they always had something to say is because they were insecure, because both of them couldn't sew worth a goddamn. And I mean that with a T. Goddamn. Couldn't sew worth a goddamn. Didn't know anything about fabrication. Didn't know anything about doing patterns, like drafting patterns or draping. They were horrible. But they thought just because they were gay that they were just going to be these great fashion people. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Just because you're gay doesn't automatically mean you know about fashion. Maybe you are good at bricklaying. You know, maybe you're a good computer programmer. I'm just saying, it's not automatic. Yes, in the fashion industry and in the entertainment industry, there are more people that are gay going into those fields, but that's more of a matter of how people that are in the fields treat them. We're more open to it. So of course, if people treat you like they're more comfortable with you, you're going to go towards, you know, a career field where people are going to treat you like they're comfortable. But it's not automatic. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you know anything about fashion. And every time I look at Miss Lawrence, it's confirmed. I need him to call. Is it B. Scott? Yes, call B. Scott and ask him for a lesson or two or three or 50 on how to do feminine the right way. Just saying. But let me go. I'm off on a tangent and go back to the show. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, I decided who I did want to see on Fashion Queens. I think they should recast it and put Evelyn Lozado, um, Cynthia Bailey from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I would say Raja from Shahs of Sunset, only because of his suits. He wears very, very nice suits. He could stand to go up a size himself too, but it seems like these big guys don't want to admit how big they are. Between Raja and Derek J. Just accept it. You're full figured. Get a size up. Live with it. So, anyways, I would rather see them, because even though Evelyn is not someone who, studied fashion, it's just the fact that every time you see her, she's on point. Hair's on point. Makeup's on point. Whatever she has on is on point. Even when she's wearing something as simple as a maxi dress, she makes it work. So I would like her. And Cynthia, obviously Cynthia Bailey can't look bad ever. Even when she was going into the hospital for what do you call them? They showed scenes of her going to the hospital. She looked gorgeous. So those are people I want to hear about how to look great, not people that look like as messed up as. I mean, okay. Let me get back to what I was talking about because I should just do a separate video on fashion queens. Anyways, um, I felt kind of bad for Brooklyn because after the marathon, she's sitting at the breakfast bar and she's talking about how she finished the marathon, and her brother brings up how she was a little bit late, and instead of the family saying, "Oh, it's great that you finished a marathon," they automatically jump on her case. "Oh, you were late, you were late, you were late, you were late," and they can't find anything nice to say about her completing a marathon. So at that point, I was like, "Fuck this family." If I was Brooklyn, I would just leave. Forget the money. Get away from them. So Cyrene goes to prom in her cocktail dress, which is the style now. The young girls especially like, they like wearing cocktail dresses. I miss prom gowns. I really like. I wish that I don't. Let me say this. I don't wish that I was around in the 50s, but I wish when I was going to prom that I wore a 1950s style dress. Yeah, I wore a regular prom gown that was, straight up and down. It was a halter with a slit up the side and a train in the back. That it was the first dress I designed, and one of my aunts sewed it for me. So that's what I wore. But if I could go back again, or at least not senior prom, junior prom, I probably would have worn something more 50s-ish. Anyways, um, Cyrene calls to extend her curfew and to talk about her virginity again because I haven't mentioned enough. And so the parents decide to let her stay out later, and Brooklyn stares daggers at them because she knows that if it was her, they wouldn't have said yes. So I'm just gonna say let's agree to forget the whole awkward nurse uniform and the, what did he call it? The something gobbler, the womb gobbler. It's so bad I blocked it out. See that? When something is traumatic, your brain tends to block it out, and I think that's why I blocked out the womb, whatever it was. Can't remember. Anyways, I kept on wondering the whole time that they were talking. Let me get another sip. This is coffee, by the way, in case people start tripping and thinking I'm drinking whatever. Although maybe when the holidays come, I might put a little whiskey in it, make a hot toddy or something like that. Anyways, I'm watching this whole show and wondering why they speak the way they speak. I mean, they seriously sound like someone. I tweeted this actually that they sound like someone told them about the Emancipation Proclamation yesterday. They sound like I've. They sound like late night BET commercials. They sound like, no, my brother, you got to get your own. They sound like feet don't fail me now. That's what this, and I'm not talking about a southern accent at all, because I have people in my family that are from New Orleans. I got people in my family that are from Corpus Christi, Texas. I know a southern accent. There's a difference between having a southern accent. I have an uncle from Alabama. He doesn't speak like that. There's a difference between having a southern accent and sounding like you've been picking cotton all day. And I can't with that. I can't. It's straight up, to me. It's straight cooning, and I'm gonna go back because I could go on all day about that. So, anyways, I think Cyrene is either adopted or switched at birth in the hospital because she doesn't look or sound anything like her parents. She doesn't look like either one of them, and she doesn't sound like either one of them. So, good for you, Cyrene. Good for you. Um, she comes home from her prom date, and they note that her lipstick is smudged, and she admits that she gave him some sugar, which means just pretty much kissing and all that. So they say that her purity ring still works and congratulate each other. And coming up, we get to see Candy Burris visit them, and she's even shocked that they have two planes, considering that she probably could buy and sell them. And she doesn't have two private planes, but we all know that Candy is very thrifty, frugal, Frugal is a better word. Candy's very frugal, and we all know this about her. So that's what that is. And then we hear Candy say, well, we see her lips say they like expensive things, but her eyes say they're gonna be broke in a couple years, and that's where that ends. So I will try to catch this catastrophe next week. Bye.